This is Ryan Elliott for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and delighted to be joined by Lee McGregor today. Lee, it's been a while. How you been, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for asking. As I mentioned, it's been a while since we caught up. What kind of things have you been up to during lockdown? I've seen you been training with Josh Taylor. I've seen you in the gym with Ben Davison. What's been going on?
Yeah, no, I've just been obviously, I was taking over myself up here, up the road. Just keeping ticking away, not knowing what was happening. And then a wee opportunity came my way that I could go out for a week training in Fuerteventura with Josh and Ben and stuff like that. So I took that. I got over there and I had a great week. I enjoyed myself. I probably would have stayed out, to be fair, and carried on training, but I got news of the fight, and I had to come home and get my medicals, get everything done, get everything up to date. And then I come home and the fight got moved back. The fight got pushed back. So, but we're here now. I'm just under 6 weeks away now. So everything's going well, training hard, just up here in Scotland, and I can't wait to get back in the ring.
I can imagine. I know it was only a week, but was it nice for you to just have a bit of normal routine and to have boxing people around since we've all sort of been stuck inside for so long?
Yeah, no, 100%. I had a brilliant week. Learned some new things over there. As you say, with a new coach, you always pick up things. If every coach is different, so it was good to pick up different things and again just bounce off of world class fighters and see the way they train and pick up things off of them as well. So it was a brilliant experience for me.
I can imagine it's been difficult for you training-wise, being stuck up there for so long. Are you still going to be working with Grant Smith and the Steel City boys when everything is up and running?
Yeah, well, so what was before lockdown, I was paying for a flat and all that down in Sheffield, and I wasn't possibly going to be able to get down there, and I was staying up the road. So I decided that I was just going to stay up the road because I always knew I was having a fight. And it was, as I said, it was only going to be 5-6 weeks notice. Well, officially, do you know what I mean? So I thought I may as well just stay up the road here, getting this fight out of the way. It's just sort of get back in the ring, still taking it dead serious, still training the way I've always trained. But I've just decided that I'm going to train up the road this camp. Train with my amateur coaches, and we'll take it from there after this fight. But I'm just really focused on winning this fight, and then see where we're at after that. It's just everything's been up in the air since lockdown was announced, so it's been a nightmare for us all.
What's it been like for Lee McGregor, the dad? Let's take away the fighter a second, because I'd imagine you've been able to spend a bit more time with family than you're accustomed to. Has that been the blessing out of all of this?
I know, 100%. That's the only good thing I can take from it, I suppose. I've had quality time with my family, even better time with my daughter. It's been frustrating at times as well because we loved getting her out and doing things that they love doing, going to parks and zoos and soft plays, stuff like that. So it's been frustrating that she's not been able to do that. But again, it's just from a selfish point of view, it's been good for us as a family to spend more time together, and it's been brilliant. I've really enjoyed it, but at the same time, it has been tough because we've not been able to do normal family things what we'd like to do. But it could be worse. It could be worse, mate. We could be a lot worse, and we were just told to stay at home, and who knew what better people could we be staying at home with? So I'm not going to complain too much.
Now let's come on to your fight news, Lee. You're fighting Ryan Walker August 25th. MPK reeled out a whole bunch of shows. You're going to be on there. Ryan Walker, Southern Area champion. Before we come on to the fight itself, how much of a relief is it just to have a concrete date finally, something to work towards?
Oh, I've been dying on a date for a long time. Obviously, I got that date in May for the fight on the Josh Taylor bill, defending his world title. So I was flying. Just won the British title back in November. I was looking to get out and defend both titles in May just there, and then obviously, unfortunate circumstances, that was postponed. So here we are now, and then for weeks gone by, we didn't know what was going to happen. Things have started looking up the past few weeks. Shows, Frank won a show last week. Everyone's kicking up again. So I'm just absolutely delighted to get a date, as you say. No, the best as in like it's going to be behind closed doors and stuff like that. But listen, we're all fighters and we just want to fight. So whether it be in front of 10,000 or whether it be in front of nobody, I'm not really bothered, and my job's still the same. I'm going to still have the same mindset, and I'm training the exact same way as I always have done. And I'm leaving no stone unturned in training, and I'll be more than ready August 25th.
That's something I wanted to ask you about, Lee, that you touched on. For a lot of fighters in your position, just on the sort of way up, fighting behind closed doors isn't that big an issue because they're not used to having that many people there anyway, fighting on undercards. You've had a very big support from your debut right through. You've always had hundreds of people there. Is it something you've thought about, the fact that this is going to be the first time that you're fighting without them?
I've not really thought much about it, to be honest. It'll probably maybe hit me on the night when I'm in the ring and you don't really feel anything, hear anything. But I've not really thought about it much. I've travelled around the world as an amateur, like for example, 3-4 day tournaments away in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of Serbia, whatever, and you've had no crowds there. It's just literally been your teammates. So this will be something similar to that. You'll have to have your coaching team, which is the most important thing. You need your coaches there, and that's it really. You do your thing in the ring yourself, and there's no one else in there with you. You're in there yourself. So but it's the same as a spar really. It's just obviously going to be smaller gloves, no head guards, stuff like that. But if anything, I think I'll really perform on the night. I think you're going to have less pressure. There's no crowd. There's no. Sometimes you may get the odd shouts of abuse and stuff and everything like that. Like there's going to be none of that at all. You can't. There's nothing. Obviously, it gets blocked out anyway, but none of that's there. So it's not even. You're not even having to deal with it. You're not even having to think about it. So it's just me and him in the ring, and we're going to fight. And that's what we're in this game for. So I don't really mind having no crowd there.
With Ryan Walker, as I mentioned, he's Southern Area champion. Have you seen much of him, and what kind of fight do you expect as well?
I've not really seen much of him, to be honest. I don't really like watching my opponents that I'm fighting. It'll be what it'll be on the night. Obviously, I've had the slightest look just to obviously see the height of him, sort of what his style's like slightly. But with me, I can't watch more than a minute. Someone I'm fighting or whatever, I lose focus. I believe in my own ability. Obviously, my coach will do that kind of thing. He'll make sure that we're covered all areas for what he's going to bring. But I'll just deal with it on the night. I know what to expect. Small, sort of come forward fighter. Nothing I've not dealt with before. So it'll be what it'll be on the night, and I'll be fully prepared for it. I'm looking forward to a nice challenge. I reckon it'll be a tough test. It's no pushover. He's coming to win definitely, and that's exactly what I want.
You've never been scared to put your foot on the gas and try and secure a stoppage if you feel it's there. Notably, if you look at the Asomba fight, you were ahead on the card. You still went for it in the 12th round. Is it on your mind to make that kind of a statement when there's so many eyes on these behind closed doors shows at the minute and maybe go for that stoppage?
To be honest, I'm a fighter. You know, that's my style is. I like to box. I believe I am gonna. People will see more boxing from me, but I've always got that killer instinct that's never going to go away. And I believe the longer the fight goes, the stronger I get and the better I become. And that'll be no different in this fight. Probably even more so this time with it being at the super bantamweight limit. So I've got an extra 4 pounds there. So I reckon I'll have more in the tank. And I think, like you say, I'm not going to take my foot off the gas in round 7, 8, 9 if I'm coasting it and just keep coasting. If I feel like I can finish him, I'm going to go for it, definitely.
It's interesting, this fight at Super Bantam. You've been a very big bantamweight for a long time, very early in your career. Is this a good chance for you to test the waters? And do you see yourself moving up a Super Bantamweight permanently in the near future?
100%. I'll definitely be Super Bantamweight at some point. It's just what opportunities come my way. I'll have to have a good talk with my management after this fight and everything like that. obviously we're fully focused on this fight. Everything else after that we'll discuss. But I just need to see what opportunities come my way, and I've continued to make bantamweight, as you say, since my very first fight. I've been within 2-3 pounds every single fight. I've made bantamweight limits for non-title fights, which you don't have to do. So that's proved how dedicated I am and how disciplined I am. If I get a big opportunity at bantamweight again, I don't see why we won't take that fight, or whether it's going to be, I don't know, the rematch with FAROOQ's being talked about a lot. There's other opportunities there. There's a European title, obviously. There's loads of opportunities there. But as you say, test the waters at super bantamweight. This is perfect time. I've been out the ring for a while. I'm not going to be boiling right down to bantamweight. I've got a wee bit leeway at super bantam. Let's test the waters, see how we get on, and take it from there.
All being well in this fight, Lee, what is the ultimate goal in the sort of coming 12 months for you? You've made no secret of the fact that you want to put this FAROOQ rivalry to bed. You've spoken about European titles. What is number one aim for the coming 12 months, sir?
As you say, win this fight, hopefully focused on it, and get this one out of the way. And I want to push on, and I want to progress as quick as I can. It's been no secret from very early turning pro that I want big fights, and I'm not scared to take on any challenges. So, same mindset. It's just, again, I've always said from the beginning of my career, I'm just glad that I've got good people around me to keep me right. Ideally, I would love to at least win a European title. I would love to challenge and win that. Whether it's going to be, I don't know, a year from now, and then we push on after that. I don't know. We don't know what can happen in boxing. As we know, strange things can happen. So I'm just going to stay in the gym, stay ready, and whatever gets put in front of me, I'll accept, definitely.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you about a few things away from yourself before I let you go. First things first, Sonny Edwards has had a fight announced, your gym mate.
Yeah.
Taking on a former foe of yours, Thomas Asomba.
Yeah.
What kind of a night is Sonny Edwards in for? You've shared the ring with him. By no means a walkover, Thomas Asomba. Really, really tough guy.
No, that's a brilliant fight. I was actually quite surprised. I knew I could sort of about a week before it was announced, and I said to Sonny, fair play, like that's a tough fight. Sonny can make it easy, not easy for himself, but he can definitely make it easier than what I did. He's got good skills, very, very talented fighter. But as you say, Asomba is no pushover, and he will be a tough night's work for anyone. And that's going to be no different for Sonny. He's got his hands full. But a switched on fit Sonny Edwards, I believe, will win on points. I can't see him getting rid of him, to be honest. He's gritty as they come. Tough man, strong. It's definitely going to be a good fight. But as I said, I have to back Sonny, but by no means it's going to be an easy night.
And just to get your thoughts, you've been training with Josh Taylor. You're out there with him in Spain. You also were down there at his new setup at his house, doing a bit of training with him there. What's he been looking like during this time? Obviously, he's had the disappointment of dealing with that cancelled fight too. How is he?
He's in good spirits as now. He's been training. He's been out Fuerteventura for about 3 weeks now. He was training 2-3 weeks. He's probably been 6-7 weeks into hard training now. He wouldn't be far. He'd be probably 4 or 5 weeks out from a fight now if he had the date. He's getting sharper every week. I've seen that over there. He's definitely in a great place for the sort of the current time that we're in just now, and not knowing sort of what's going on. He's got no dates, I don't think. He maybe has now. He's maybe had a slight indication now, but I know a couple of weeks ago he was just basically getting himself ready, and whenever he gets a date, he'll be more than ready. He's well ahead of schedule, I would say. And no, I can't wait to see him back in the ring, because as I just said there, he's flying already. He's not even got a date yet.
He has got that mandatory to deal with, but all the talk right now was that undisputed fight with Jose Carlos Ramirez. When that does come around, in your opinion, is that a tougher fight or an easier fight than the Prograis fight?
I think he could make it an easier night than what he did. I do believe that it was number 1 and number 2, which again in the world against each other when they fought Prograis. I believe they're the two best light welterweights. They both proved it. Magnificent fight, and Josh proved that he was obviously the number 1. So I reckon he definitely, Ramirez is no pushover. He's a world champion, but he could definitely make it an easier night than what he did with Prograis, and I still believe that he won, not comfortable, but he did win well against Prograis. So I think that he might even stop or knock out Ramirez. Would not be surprised at all. He just seems to be getting bigger, better, and stronger, and I believe every fight he had sort of, because I was, as you know, I'd done nearly every camp with him, from Campos fight to the one before Progress. So about 4 or 5 fights I done with him, and every camp or training camp I done with him, everything I was by his side, and every single fight that went on, he was doing the weight better, he was looking stronger, he was looking bigger, and that's no secret, because you can see it on the footage, on the scales. I think Prograis is the best he ever looked on the scales, just in his face and all that, and that can only be a good sign that he's getting better, and he's doing things differently and better, and I think that's just going to make him an even better fighter and more effective in the ring on fight night.
Now, if that fight does eventually head stateside in 2021, which it could well be, now you're a stablemate of Josh, you're a friend, I'm sure he's an idol as well. Are you going to be knocking on the door to your management team saying, get me on that undercard out in America?
Oh, 100%, of course, yeah. And I think it's definitely more than possible. Got the best team around me to make that happen. There's no doubts in my mind, if Josh gets a big fight like that in America, that I will be travelling over there with him, and hopefully fighting on the undercard 100%. My management will definitely provide that for me. I'm a firmly believer that.
One more thing I want to get your thoughts on before I let you go, Lee. INOUE-CASIMERO was meant to fight John Real Casimero. That's sort of been put on the back burner for now. Bob Arum said it's still possible in 2020. If not, we'll take it to 2021. You watched INOUE up close. You and I both did in Glasgow. How do you see that fight going when it eventually takes place, though?
I think it's a really good fight. I think Danair showed that INOUE can be hurt. He's not invincible, what we were all sort of thinking when we watched him that night in Glasgow against Rodriguez. He was absolutely frightening that night. But I think Danair has showed that, listen, this guy can be hurt, he can be beat. And Casimero, again, strong fighter, very good fighter. Look what he done to Tete. So I wouldn't be banking on INOUE winning that fight. Like, I would give Casimero just as much of a chance. So if I was to pick, I would probably slightly favour INOUE, but I would not be surprised in the slightest if Casimero pulled another upset off. And because again, I think they possibly are the 2 top bantamweights in the world just now. So let the 2 fight, let them move on or whatever, and vacate some belts and make some available for me when I get there. But nah, who knows what might happen. Let them have that big fight, and then, yeah, as you say, one might move up weight, or the winner might move up in weight and challenge at super bantamweight, and then some opportunities might become available at bantamweight. Or who knows what can happen in a year's time. I'm progressing quickly. I've only had 8 fights. Won the Commonwealth title, my 5th. It's been a quick progress for me, and I continue to keep doing that. So I'll not be too long, hopefully, before I'm knocking on the door for challenging for these belts.
One thing I found interesting when you were sat in Glasgow and we were going to watch Josh Taylor, but also INOUE, you turned to me and you said, I'd love to spar with him. And I was just thinking, what's going through this guy's head? For that is that just about measuring yourself against the best in your division and getting a taste of that power as well?
Yeah, 100%. Like that my mindset, and that's the way I am as a person. I'm fearless. Like, I honestly, and I've proved that with the fights I've taken. 4th fight was a title fight, and then my 5th fight. Like, no many fighters have done that. they wouldn't want to take the risks. But without taking risks, you don't get rewards. So again, what I mean by I would love to spar him is I want to see how far away I am from this guy. It's the same with Nordine Valley, the world champion at my weight. I was asked to go and spar him. I went over there for 2 weeks myself. I went over, with my brother. No coach. Just shows you, like, any opportunity that comes my way, I'm going to take it. Like, my mindset is that I can only learn from it. And I went over there for 2 weeks and sparred really well. Gave him really, really good sparring. And then for the Denier fight, they were wanting me back over for more sparring. So that's only encouraging. It can only tell you that I've done well, because if I was no use, then they wouldn't be asking me for another big, huge fight to prepare for him fight Denier. So it's encouraging on my behalf. And I believe anyone in the world at my weight, I will give good work. And as I say, start challenging them, start fighting these guys in 12 to 18 months, and I'll be ready. I'm fearless. Like I keep saying, my mindset has just always been that way. Like I've had it tough growing up, and that's just the way I am. If I'm going to get thrown in the deep end, then I'll go in there and I'll come out on top. I believe anyone across the ring from me on fight night, that'll beat. No, I wouldn't get in the ring otherwise.
Well, Lee, I've kept you for just over 20 minutes. I'm going to leave the final word to yourself. August 25th, you're back in action against Ryan Walker. What can the fans expect to see from Lightning Lee McGregor?
I think this, honest to God, and I'm not just saying this, I think they're going to see possibly one of the best performances from me. Just feel like with the no crowd, I really think I'm gonna use it to my advantage. I think I really deal, like, see in the gym when I'm sparring and stuff like that, I feel like that's when I'm really at my best. That's where people see how good I really am. And the public don't really get to see that. Well, they do. They get to see on fight night, but I don't think that's the same as what I am in the gym sparring. I just feel like it might be the pressure. It might just be that less bit of pressure, and you're relaxed and you'll try things that you probably want to try in a fight. I think I'll box more. I'll take it to him and I'll fight him when I want. Not for a full 12 rounds. What I've been guilty for in the past, getting carried away, staying in the pocket too long. I'll pick my moments, and I feel like I'll control the fight and fight when I want and box when I want. I'm going to try and mix it up as much as I can. And just obviously, hopefully everyone tunes in and sees me back in the ring doing what I love, and hopefully coming away with a win.
All right, Lee, it's been great to catch up with you. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to Boxing Social. Good luck with the fight. I'm sure we'll catch you afterwards.
Nice one, Ryan. Cheers, mate.